This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Breaking overnight, an ordeal lasting much of Wednesday is finally over this morning. The suspect accused of shooting and wounding multiple police officers is finally in custody. What we know so far, coming up.
They say he flashed a badge and was looking for drugs. RTV6 talks to the couple who saw it all go down before a state lawmaker was arrested.
Regardless of the economy, they are always in demand. We'll show you a program getting students ready for an industry that is always hiring Hoosiers. It is 6 o'clock on our Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is with us, bringing some good news in the forecast. That humidity is down.
Yeah, you know, it's probably the lowest today than it's been the entire week. And enjoy today, because starting tomorrow, it starts to come back up. So, yeah, today's probably the best weather day of the week with the low humidity, the sunshine, and the seasonable temperatures we'll enjoy. Just want to quickly point out the visibility is kind of reduced just a tiny bit in northern locations. Obviously, nothing like we dealt with yesterday with all those school delays, but these could drop just a little bit further here this morning. But once the sun comes up in just about an hour, any fog that's out there will burn off very, very quickly. Otherwise, look at these comfortable temperatures. 58 in Crawfordsville, 63 in Bloomington, as well as the Kokomo area, 65 as you make your way over towards Richmond. Showers in Michigan, clear here across central Indiana, and we'll enjoy skies that'll go from mostly sunny this morning to partly cloudy later on this afternoon. 76 degrees by the noon hour, with high temperatures eventually climbing into the low 80s. Just a very, very small chance of maybe a quick passing shower in far northern locations today. Most of us will not see it, but just want to point it out if you do live in those northern locations, so you are not surprised. But again, all in all, a very, very nice Thursday. We'll talk more about the heat for the weekend coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here's a live look right now at your commute here on the northwest side, I-465 and West 71st Street. A few cars making their way across your screen, but everything's moving along up to speed. No crashes here to slow you down. Let's take a look at our map and plan out your commute. If you're heading southbound on I-69, starting at State Road 13 down to the I-465 ramps, no delays, a 13-minute commute at this hour. And then here on I-74, traveling westbound from Acton Road to the I-465 ramps, it's only a 5-minute drive, but if you're trying to get to the east side of town, you'll have to take the detour route due to that construction project. Now to breaking news this morning, a tense standoff that led to gunfire and multiple police officers wounded, and it appears that this is finally over.
Police in Philadelphia finally able to take a man who had opened fire on officers into custody. Now, this all started around 4:30 Wednesday afternoon when officers were trying to serve a warrant for a narcotics arrest. Officers were inside the home when the suspect started firing. The suspect barricaded himself inside as officers returned fire. Bullets ricocheting off nearby homes as officers took cover behind parked cars.
Was able to successfully extract the 2 police officers that were trapped upstairs, as well as 3 prisoners. They were all taken out safely.
We're thankful. I'm a little angry about someone having all that weaponry and all that firepower, but we'll get to that another day. It's all about the officers and their families right now.
Well, a SWAT unit was eventually able to get inside the home and capture that shooter. At least 9 officers were injured, 6 of them with gunshot wounds. Fortunately, all of the officers are expected to recover.
Also this morning, 2 men are in the hospital after a shooting on the far east side of Indianapolis. The shooting happened just before 11:30 last night in an apartment complex on Timber Ridge Drive. That's near North Franklin Road and East 21st Street. Metro Police tell us both shooting victims are stable and expected to recover. Police did not say what led to the gunfire, and they have not released information on a possible suspect.
At 6:03, a hearing does not appear to be scheduled just yet for a state lawmaker accused of flashing a badge and claiming he was looking for drug dealers. The couple who reported the encounter to police now sharing their story with RTV6.
Did you ever think that he was law enforcement?
Not for 1 second.
Well, James McGuire there says that he was walking with his fiancée and the 2-year-old in the neighborhood on South Franklin Road when state lawmaker Dan Forrestal showed them a badge. McGuire says Forrestal said that he was looking for drug dealers to turn in. The interaction immediately raised McGuire's suspicions.
When I asked him to see the badge again, he wouldn't show it. He just literally kept talking about drug dealers.
McGuire took pictures of Forrestal's vehicle when he drove off and called police to report a police impersonator. Incredibly, the 2 men crossed paths later again that night when McGuire, who was an Uber driver, went to a bar. Well, you can find out what all happened after that by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on that story. We can tell you that Forrestal faces several criminal charges, including impersonation of a public servant, resisting law enforcement, and operating a vehicle while intoxicated. Call 6 Investigates reached out to Forrestal for a comment, and so far, we've not heard back.
The man accused of being a longtime drug kingpin in Indianapolis took the witness stand in his own defense. Richard Grundy was called to testify by his lawyers at his federal trial in Evansville. Grundy and 4 co-defendants are on trial for an alleged drug trafficking operation. But he is most famous locally for avoiding a conviction on previous state charges involving several murders. Grundy's first trial in Indianapolis last month ended in a mistrial after a violation of a court order involving the personal information of members of the jury. That's the main reason prosecutors sought to move the retrial to Evansville.
An update now on the plan to dig up the famous grave of legendary gangster John Dillinger. Crown Hill Cemetery now says it's against the plan to exhume Dillinger's body. Crown Hill released a statement saying that the safety and the integrity of the ceremony is threatened by the upcoming exhumation. There are also concerns about the process disrupting the peaceful setting for people visiting their loved ones. 2 of Dillinger's relatives claim that they have evidence that the remains there at Crown Hill may not be those of Dillinger. However, the cemetery says other relatives of Dillinger do not agree with the exhumation. Now, the process to dig up the grave will be part of the History Channel documentary.
Staying cool in the summer and warm in the winter. That's made possible by our HVAC systems in our homes and businesses.
That's right. Now in Pike Township at the high school, students are getting hands-on experience on how to fix those systems, and potentially this could land them a job in the process. Today in Hiring Hoosiers, our own Erin Lish joining us live, and she's actually in the HVAC system room here at RTV6. Erin, what are students learning, and can you make it a little bit warmer in here? It's kind of chilly.
You know, I was trying to figure it out. There's a lot of, levers and knobs and electrical work, and I would have no idea how to fix any of this, but students at Pike High School, they actually are, and you know what? They can figure out how to do this commercial work as well as residential work, and they actually learn how to repair and also replace all of this. So this is actually a 2-year course, and what they focus on is how to install these things, maintain and operate these heating, ventilation, and cooling systems, and they also figure out how to read blueprints and those troubleshooting mechanical and electrical problems. Again, they get to have credit hours through Ivy Tech over the 2 years, and they also get certifications through OSHA and the EPA. Students say these courses provide them options for future careers.
Because even if I do go to college, this is a good fallback plan I can go into. I can always go back to it and work for companies because now I have my license in it, and this is a skill for life that I can always use.
So looking at the growth of the HVAC industry nationwide, the federal government is projecting a 15% growth from just a few years ago in 2016 to 2026 in mechanical and in installers, which is much faster than the average for all other occupations. And in the next half hour, we're going to talk a little bit with the instructors from the Pike Career Center and how many jobs are available right now. But for now, I'll send it back to you in the studio, and maybe I'll try to figure out how to make it a little cooler for you guys in the studio.
All right, Erin, we appreciate that. Thank you. Taking a turn now, a 25-year-old Fishers woman called a consumer's worst nightmare has been ordered to serve nearly 5 years in federal prison. Investigators say for 6 years, Ariel Wilkerson used stolen identities to open credit cards and take over financial accounts, often targeting the same people. On Wednesday, a federal judge gave Wilkerson a 57-month sentence. Prosecutors say the punishment sends a strong message that people who commit identity theft will face real consequences. It is 6:08 right now. Todd's going to give us a look at the humidity scale.
Yeah, and we get a break from the humidity today. So yesterday it kind of decreased, especially as we went into the evening hours when that little front slipped through the area. So we're in the comfortable category for the day today. But as we go throughout the day tomorrow, we'll probably have to push this into the getting sticky category. And then we're going to get into the very muggy category once we get to the weekend. So kind of soak today in. It's a great day for you to get get out and about with partly cloudy skies, light winds, and temperatures that'll be running a little bit cooler than the past few days. We'll see high temperatures that'll be topping off right around 80 degrees to about 83 here in the city. Now, going forward in this forecast, lawns are starting to dry up, and unfortunately tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, there are some rain chances in the forecast, but you cannot bank on these spotty showers hitting your home. So yeah, you may have to turn the sprinkler on, keep that water flowing to keep your lawn green. As far as your weekend forecast, we'll talk more about it coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Sometimes they're locked out, sometimes they're locked in. Just ahead, problems at the dog park lead to one East Side resident to call RTV6 for help.
Getting hands-on experience that could help lead to a career. Next in Hiring Hoosiers, what young people interested in a law enforcement career get to experience long before the police academy.
And here's a live look at your commute on the south side where traffic is really picking up at this hour. You can see this is I-465 and I-65, the interchange there just before that construction project closing the eastbound lanes. Give yourself extra time if you're a south side commuter. We'll keep an eye on your drive. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break.
Budget at Ross. Yes for less.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:13, and this is County Line Road and 65. Now, as you're traveling southbound on I-65, you're getting to Greenwood. A heads up. It looks like you do have a vehicle fire blocking some lanes of the interstate, slowing traffic down as you approach Worksville Road. We'll continue to monitor that and keep you updated. Well, Hiring Hoosiers is our initiative from RTV6 that works to connect you to jobs, resources, training, and also education.
And the next generation of law enforcement is starting early. As our Rafael Sanchez shows us, they are learning the best practices in the classroom before making it a career.
You guys ready to start it? Yes, ma'am. Get your partners, go to your tables.
Learning how to obtain fingerprints is key in the world of law enforcement.
If you see it done in a police academy, we do it in here. We do building searches, traffic stops.
And in this setting, high school students take a hands-on approach. They analyze the fingerprints by placing them on balloons to determine the pattern.
It's exceedingly important because honestly, you can only learn so much from a book. You can only for so long read. It's when you actually get the hands-on stuff and be able to like touch and feel and actually do stuff that you actually start to retain the information a lot more.
The J. Everett Light Career Center caters this program to tap into the interests of those seeking a future in public safety.
That whole aspect of just helping people is, I guess, just rooted in my character.
Students can't apply for a job with a police department until they're 21 years old, but they believe this training will give them an edge.
Being able to show up to that door and do what you're told and do it correctly without complaining or something, just it shines through to either future employees or just coworkers.
It's very fundamental to start getting a head start because a lot of things you do as 17, 18-year-olds and going into college can affect your career.
These lines, they could be scars they each have.
A variety of skills and techniques are taught, but the biggest lesson comes on day one and can apply to any profession.
Do the right thing at the right time for the right reason, and you'll enjoy a long career in law enforcement.
The J. Everett Light Career Center offers students a wide range of programs catering to multiple career choices. You can find out more information about this program at our website, hiringhoosiers.com.
Time right now is 6:15. New this morning, an autopsy performed on Jeffrey Epstein showed that he sustained multiple breaks in his neck bones. The Washington Post is reporting that breaks, including a bone near the Adam's apple, is more commonly broken when someone is strangled. However, a source tells the Post that the bone can also break when a person is hanged. The child sex trafficking suspect was found dead in his federal prison cell on Saturday. Investigators are still looking into why the guards were not checking on Epstein regularly for several hours before he was found dead.
RTV6 is getting results from members of a dog park dealing with a much bigger problem than owners not picking up after their pets. The gates to the Paul Ruster Dog Park are not working. Lately, they've been keeping the park's members who pay a $75 annual fee outside or, as one resident found out the hard way, locked inside the park. Indy Parks manages the area and has tried different locks without success. When Dan Frankie got locked in the park with his dog Dylan, he called RTV6 for help.
You know, how do you lift a 100-pound dog over the gate? And how do you, as a senior, jump that gate? It gets harder and harder. I finally had to call home. I live a few blocks away and said, honey, bring the key, which is a 6-inch crowbar. And I had to pop it open to get out.
Indy Parks told RTV6 the gate was malfunctioning because it had been repeatedly hit by something. They're asking residents to report any vandalism to the Parks Department. Todd, it is going to be a great day to get out to the dog park with your pet, or maybe just take the dog for a nice long stroll.
Yeah, absolutely. Today's a terrific day. Probably the best day of the week weather-wise. This morning we're dealing with a little bit of reduced visibility in some northern locations. Nothing widespread, but I just want to point it out, especially maybe if you're traveling up towards the Fort Wayne area on I-69. That's where we have the worst visibility in the entire state. Reduced a little bit here in Logansport down towards the Frankfort area. But again, it's not terrible, but it could fluctuate just a little bit there in some northern locations over the next hour or so. But as soon as the sun comes up, which is shortly before 7 o'clock here this morning, we'll burn any fog that's out there off very, very quickly. 64 degrees, that's the current temperature right now. The dew point's in the low 60s. That's where it stays throughout the day today. That's a very comfortable number for us. And you'll notice today that we won't really have much in the way of humidity out there. And you really need to enjoy it because in the coming days, we are going to see the humidity start to return. The cool spot all morning long has been over in Crawfordsville, 58 degrees, 63 in Bloomington, 63 in Tipton, and it's 64 in Greensburg. So it's very, very comfortable all across the area this morning with the clear skies. It should be a beautiful sunrise for us this morning once that sun does come up. And as we work our way throughout the afternoon hours, we'll turn the skies partly cloudy. You know, this little disturbance is moving through Michigan with some rain. As we get into the peak heating of the day, it's not completely out of the question that there could be just a very stray shower that flares up in parts of central Indiana. Mainly, I think, in northern locations, it would be very, very light. It would be very, very brief. And honestly, it's probably won't even be heavy enough to really wet the ground all that much. So you may feel a sprinkle here or there this afternoon. Don't let it deter you from outdoor plans. There is lots and lots of sunshine throughout the day today as well, with temperatures that will be topping off eventually in the low 80s. So here's how they break down for you hour by hour. We should climb up into the 80s by about 3 p.m. and we may get up to about 82, 83 degrees in some locations, and it'll be a beautiful night for baseball at Victory Field. Temperatures will be in the 70s with partly cloudy skies. Get out there and enjoy. And then overnight tonight, it's going to be pretty cool. 50s in the outlying areas to about 62 degrees in Indianapolis. So give the air conditioners a little bit of a break here this evening before you start to have to use them a lot once again this weekend. Tomorrow's kind of the transition day. Temperatures tomorrow not all that warmer, much warmer than they are today. The difference is the humidity comes up, so it's a little more uncomfortable. And then we're right around 90 degrees through the weekend and into much of next week. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look at traffic on the south side, I-65 and County Line Road. You can see traffic there is moving along just fine, northbound and southbound. But if you're in the southbound lanes heading farther south in Johnson County, a heads up to you. We do have a vehicle fire near the Worthsville Road exit. Let's take a look at our map right now and show you that area. You can see the yellow on our map leading up to that area in Greenwood. The right lane's blocked at this hour, so just use caution as you're traveling southbound on 65. Of course, we'll monitor this and let you know when it's all clear. Well, coming up next, it is our Trending 6. It's a look at all the hot stories on social media. And we learned that if you have the right pair of old sneakers kicking around the house, they could make you rich.
All right, country music fans, listen up. Right now is your chance to win 2 tickets to see Luke Bryan in concert. The show is set for this Sunday, August 18th at the Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. All you need to do is be the 6th caller right now. Here's the number on your screen at 317-269-1459. And here's even better news. If you don't win right now, we're giving away 2 more tickets later this hour. So don't go anywhere. Good luck.
Friday, only at Ashley Home Store.
Here's a live look right now. Your drive in Greenwood, I-65 at County Line Road as you're continuing southbound from this spot. Getting closer to the Worthsville Road exit, a heads up, we do have a vehicle fire blocking at least 1 lane of traffic. You can expect a few delays in that area. Everything here is pretty heavy, but it's still moving just fine. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Well, before you head out the door, it's time for the Trending 6.
That's right. These are some of the stories that everyone is sharing online today that you'll want to know about.
41 years after Michael Myers first terrorized the town of Haddonfield, Illinois, the original Halloween is returning to theaters. A remastered version of the 1978 John Carpenter classic is set to run in select movie theaters from September 27th to, you guessed it, October 31st.
Well, some critics say one of the teams playing in the Little League World Series cheated to get there. The Little League team from Barrington, Rhode Island was accused of breaking the rules by a team from New Hampshire that they beat in the national playoffs. The coach from New Hampshire says members of the Barrington team were stealing signs, which is against Little League rules. The coach of the Barrington team says that that's not true.
A teenager in Kentucky didn't know what to do. Her mom took away her phone, which kept the account that had the name Dorothy from using Twitter. After Dorothy sent a goodbye tweet from her Nintendo 3DS, her mom apparently found out where the tweet came from. Mom then posted a tweet saying the account was going to be shut down. That's when Dorothy apparently sent a tweet from the family's smart refrigerator, which is connected to the internet. That tweet then went viral and prompted the hashtag Free Dorothy. When I would get my phone taken out of my bedroom as a teenager, I had another phone hidden in my closet.
Oh my goodness.
That I would then plug in and use. So
hopefully Judy's not watching right now.
Yeah, well, what are they going to do now?
It's too late.
Yes.
That's so funny. Well, a 12-year-old boy was on vacation with his family in Ohio when he made a prehistoric discovery. Jackson Hepner was taking photographs with his family when he spotted this along the edge of a creek. Wow. It turned out to be a giant woolly mammoth tooth.
Cool.
The inn at Honey Run Inn in Millersburg, Ohio, brought it to experts that confirmed that this is an upper third molar.
Wow.
It's big.
A California man just made a killing on a pair of old Nikes. The rare sneakers sold for a whopping $50,000. The shoes were given to Dave Russell at the 1972 Olympic trials in Eugene, Oregon. Russell was trying to make the U.S. marathon team that year. These Nikes are known as moon shoes for their waffle-like bottom. They were among the first shoes designed by Nike co-founder Bill Bowerman. Only 12 of the shoes were ever made.
Well, this is one contest the presidential candidates at the Iowa State Fair are avoiding. On Wednesday, the fair held its traditional cow chip throwing contest. If you're not a farmer, these folks are tossing dried cow, manure. Well, there was no lack of interest in the competition. The key challenge for the contestants was to make sure that the chip doesn't break on them, and for the enthusiastic audience to avoid being hit. There you go.
That is a very popular event in Wisconsin as well. Have either of you ever participated in that?
Thrown a cow chip.
I have not, but I would do it.
Yeah,
there you go. It looks like fun.
I'd give it a whirl.
All right.
So, all right, outside.
Maybe they need to bring it to the Indiana State Fair and we can do it next year.
Maybe next year, right? All right, here's a live look outside, and the moon just ducked behind the cloud there off in the distance. It was just a beautiful shot a few minutes ago. There's some high, thin clouds out there this morning. Once the sun comes up here in the next 30 minutes or so, we'll burn any cloud cover off. It should be a beautiful sunrise. Low humidity out there this morning as well. Temperatures will be climbing out of the 60s to about 70 degrees by 10 a.m. And then look for highs with partly cloudy skies this afternoon to get into the low 80s. Enjoy today. Warmer and more humid air starts tomorrow and into the weekend. More on that coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:27.
888-930-CHAMPION today.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 6:30, Classroom to Career is part of our Hiring Hoosiers initiative, helping to connect your kids with programs that could help them find their path forward. This morning, we are showing you a local high school program that's getting your kids a jump start into the HVAC industry.
And the family says they are living a nightmare as their apartment is infested with mold and mice. The reason the health department is now threatening to sue the complex.
And RTV6 getting results after drivers reach out to us with complaints about the new red line changes. What Indigo is now set to do to help smooth out your drive. At 6:30, I want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. And Todd, you have been saying all morning long this is going to be the best weather day of the week.
Yeah, and I simply say that because seasonable temperatures and low humidity. This time of year, Humidity makes all the difference in the world. It kind of dropped yesterday throughout the day, and it's going to come back tomorrow. So today is your opportunity to get out and about with a nice, comfortable air mass in place. Beautiful shot there. I just mentioned the last half hour if you were with us. I was watching this moon, and it went behind the clouds. It's now continuing to set, and it's a beautiful shot there as you look off towards the west. A little bit of high, thin cloud cover out there, but as soon as the sun comes up here in this half hour, it will start to burn that cloud cover off very, very quickly. 63 in Greencastle, Tipton, 65 in Richmond, 64 officially the temperature here in Indianapolis. A little bit of patchy fog in northern locations, but it really shouldn't be too much of an issue for your morning commute. Otherwise, skies are completely clear. We'll turn skies partly cloudy as the day goes on. Just like yesterday, there's a very, very small chance of maybe a quick stray shower passing in northern locations. Otherwise, enjoy the sunshine. 76 degrees will be your noontime temperature, on our way up to a high later on this afternoon of 83 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Our own Shay Goodpaster is keeping an eye on your commute in Live Drive, and right now he's taking that detour route on northbound I-65. And Shay, we've seen some taillights out where you are. Tell us what's going on.
Well, it appears when I passed it, it looks like a tanker truck and a vehicle might have tangled. A minor collision, but it's really backing traffic up going into the South Split. Now, right now, I'm 65 northbound, almost to the South Split. I just exited Raymond Street, so keep an eye on that till they get it cleared up, guys. Back to you.
All right, Shay, thank you very much. Classroom to Career is part of our Hiring Hoosiers initiative, highlighting job training programs across central Indiana.
And students at Pike High School are learning how to keep your HVAC systems up and running all throughout the year. Through Pike's Career Center, they're getting training to prepare the kids for the HVAC industry.
Our Aaron Lish is live showing you how this program is getting students classroom to career ready. Hey, Aaron.
Good morning. So right now we are actually in the RTV6 HVAC system room. There's a lot of pieces here. This is a very big machine. So if something breaks or something goes wrong, or even in your own home's HVAC system, students, they are learning how to fix that before they even graduate high school.
Which wire goes where? These Pike High students are learning just that, how to install, operate, and do maintenance work on HVAC systems. And right now, there's a major need for experts in this line of work.
Approximately 300,000 jobs this year are available in this industry.
And there's a variety of positions open in the HVAC industry.
Some of that's new construction work, along with commercial buildings, residential homes, and then service and repair replacement work.
This is a 2-year course that students say others should consider.
This is a great class, and I encourage other people to take it.
Instructors say if you like hands-on work, then this is the path for you.
They like being outside, they like being active, and they're good at problem-solving skills.
Along with dual college credits, they get certifications from the EPA and OSHA, which students say give them confidence for their future after graduation.
Because even if I do go to college, this is a good fallback plan I can go into. I can always go back to it and work for companies because now I have my license in it. And this is a skill for life that I can always use.
And something really interesting to note here is that there's federal data showing that from 2016 to 2026, there is going to be an increase in need for those HVAC system unit mechanics as well as installers. So this is a growing industry, so a great opportunity for students here in our area. And coming up tomorrow on Good Morning Indiana, we are talking with a nonprofit group that's helping Latinos, and we are seeing how they are making these students successful. Back to you in the studio.
Aaron, thank you. And if you are looking to learn more about these career programs or other job opportunities in central Indiana, our Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page is a big help. That's where you can find posts from prospective companies looking for new employees and all of our other Hiring Hoosiers stories. That is all just a click away for you on the Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page. And our Hiring Hoosiers Classroom to Career initiative continues tomorrow right here on Good Morning Indiana. Here is a preview of the stories and schools we will be featuring. So to be sure to join us all week right here on Good Morning Indiana from 4:30 to 7.
At 6:35, we are following breaking news this morning from the city's east side. That's where Metro Police officers are investigating a shooting that left 2 people injured. It all happened at a parking lot at the Park Haven apartment complex that's near 21st and Franklin Road. The shooting happened just before midnight. Police say that one man was shot in the ankle. Both men were taken to the hospital in stable condition. There's no word this morning on what led up to that gunfire.
A Northeast Side family says they are fed up as their apartment has been infested with mice, roaches, and mold. They say managers won't do anything about it despite at least 2 warnings from the health department. Courtney Holland says the terrible conditions at New Parkwoods Apartments forced her family to vacate their home back in February. She says she first found a mouse last October and has been begging her apartment managers to do something ever since. She now says mold is affecting her children's health.
My son asthma kept flaring up in February, and I didn't understand why. They said, like, with the feces and the rodent, it leaves something in the air or whatever, and it gets down in the kids' lungs.
We spoke to a regional manager for the apartment complex, and they say this is a confidential matter that is being handled between their management team. After 2 warnings that have gone unanswered, the Marion County Health Department has notified the owner that they will be back at the complex later today. If repairs are not made, the department says it will sue.
At 6:37, Metro Police want to know if you recognize a person accused of setting a food truck on fire on the west side of Indianapolis. Take a look. It all happened Sunday morning at India Palace Restaurant next to Lafayette Square Mall. Investigators say the suspect here appears to be wearing a shirt with a large bull face on the front. The business owner says another food truck was parked in the same lot and was not set on fire or touched at all.
RTV6 is working for you and getting results. Last week, we showed you these pictures showing the problems drivers were having in Broad Ripple. Drivers were struggling with a tight turn because of poles for Indigo's new red line. We watched vehicle after vehicle drive up onto the curb to make that turn at College and Broad Ripple Avenues. Indigo tells us they've instructed their construction team to remove the couple of pole dividers to increase the turning radius. We will continue to monitor that intersection to see if it helps. And don't forget, it is our mission to work for you. If you don't think you're getting the results you deserve, reach out to us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
At 6:38, a public forum to discuss a controversial project in Muncie is canceled. Wales Sustainable Products was going to speak to concerned citizens on August 20th. Well, the company says it needs more time to answer everyone's questions. It plans to open a steel dust recycling plant by the end of next year in the former Borg Warner site along Kilgary Avenue. Many people are worried that pollution and mercury emissions from the plant could be hazardous to their health. A regular city committee meeting is still scheduled for the 21st.
National Intelligence Director Dan Coats leaves his post today, along with Deputy National Intelligence Director Sue Gordon. President Trump says National Counterterrorism Center Director Joseph McQuire will take over as the acting director. He must still be confirmed by the Senate if nominated. Dan Coats served as a U.S. Senator from Indiana for a number of years. It is 6:39, and oh, Todd, I've been gone for a few days here, and I forgot how much I enjoyed the dog walking forecast. Can't wait to see what cutie you have in store for us this morning.
Ralph's a good one. You're going to like Ralph here. There he is, just sitting in the lawn with his ball, ready to play a game of fetch here. And today will be a good game to play fetch, or just take the dog for a walk here. And if you'd like to have your dog featured like Ralph, send those pictures to my Facebook page, Todd Clausen, RTV6. Just send them a message. Make sure you tell me with the name of your dog as well. I've gotten a bunch of dogs with no names, so make sure you include that in the city where you live. Green paws, though, from start to finish here throughout the day today, starting in the 60s, climbing into the mid-80s. The humidity is low today, and that's the big difference from the past few days. The humidity, though, will come up starting tomorrow, so be aware of that. Tonight at Victory Field, Ben the Bachelor will be there. There's a meet and greet starting at 5:30. You can bring him a rose and see if he accepts, and then watch a great game with comfortable temperatures in the 70s from start to finish with partly cloudy skies.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Our Hiring Hoosiers initiative is dedicated to helping you find and land that job. Just ahead, we sit down with our career coach to talk about background checks. We'll be right back.
Lower our drug prices now.
Our Hiring Hoosiers initiative is dedicated to helping you find and land that perfect job.
And this week, our own Rafael Sanchez sat down with our career coach to talk about background checks in the work world.
Have you made a mistake in your past that affect your ability to pass a background check? Criminal backgrounds do, in fact, create limitations, but it's possible to find a job with a conviction. You may have to develop a new plan or skill set that will not reject your past record. First, you want to look up your record and seek legal counsel about having your record expunged. Next, you may have to identify your skills and create a new skill set or education that will target careers that will not hold your record against you. Next, you want to take advantage of community resources. Organizations like Work One, Hire Reentry, PACE Indy, Indy Helpers, and several other online sites have a wealth of information to help people with criminal backgrounds. Consider going back to school. If you don't have your high school diploma, contact your local adult education program to get signed up for that. Once you're signed up with those programs, you may be eligible for a free certification. You also want to consider post-secondary options such as apprenticeships and college or universities. You always want to keep practicing your professionalism. Create a professional resume, cover letter, good referrals, and practice interviewing and dressing appropriately. Next, you want to start your job search. Network with your friends and family. Seek out those smaller businesses that have less restrictive hiring requirements. Check out the job search websites and consider staffing companies. If the background question comes up, it's best to take responsibility for your conviction, show regret, and give examples of how you have redeemed yourself by your new acquired skills and abilities. Just like any other job search, prepare, practice, be persistent, and prove yourself once on the job.
And you can see more advice from our career coach at our website, hiringhoosiers.com. That's where you can also find all of our other Hiring Hoosiers stories.
The stock market had its worst day of the year on Wednesday. That and other global economic numbers are raising fears that a recession could soon be coming. The U.S. economy has had a record run of growth beginning in the second year of the administration of former President Obama. Now, President Trump is trying to lay blame for the recession talk on a number of factors. On Wednesday, the markets were rattled by an inverted bond yield curve, something that has correctly predicted past recessions. The Trump administration is blaming the Federal Reserve, though others say Trump's pursuit of high tariffs isn't helping.
Breaking this morning, a tense standoff that led to gunfire and multiple police officers injured is now finally over. Police in Philadelphia were finally able to take that suspect into custody. This all started around 4:30 Wednesday afternoon when officers were trying to serve a warrant for a narcotics arrest. Officers were inside the home when the suspect started firing. The suspect then barricaded himself inside as the officers returned fire. Bullets ricocheting off nearby homes as officers took cover behind parked cars. A SWAT unit was eventually able to get inside that home and capture the shooter. At least 9 officers were injured, 6 of them with gunshot wounds. Fortunately, we can tell you all of those officers are expected to recover.
Western Japan is expecting a powerful typhoon to make landfall on Thursday, according to the country's national news agency, Kyodo News. This is the season's 10th typhoon. The National Weather Agency is warning residents of mudslides, flooding, and potential record rainfall. Airline and railway services have already been reduced and in some cases canceled, which will disrupt many people traveling for Japan's Bon holiday.
At 6:46, people living just 2 hours west in Kansas are now cleaning up from another round of severe weather that rolled through. The winds and the rains on Wednesday left damage on a college campus near Wichita. There will be plenty of work to do with just days before the students return for classes. Several buildings were damaged by winds that topped 80 miles per hour. Thankfully, no one was injured in that severe weather. And thankfully, back here at home, we don't have any severe weather, and we actually have a really nice day on tap. Todd?
Yeah, we do. It's going to be a day that features low humidity and plenty of sunshine. So here's the view right now as you take a look, as you look off towards the west here, and you can see a little bit of cloud cover out there, and the moon is just starting to set. And I'm going to step out here. I'm going to change the camera for you and show you the view as you look off to the east past downtown and also past downtown Indianapolis off to the east. There you go. And you can see in this direction we have plenty of clear skies. So the sun just starting to come up. Official sunrise is not for another 10 minutes or so. And so it's going to turn out to be a beautiful day. The cloud cover that you did see both in that westerly direction and kind of hovering here over downtown, that'll burn off very, very quickly. 64 degrees, that is the current temperature right now. The dew point's at 61. That's a comfortable number as well. There is a little bit of patchy fog out there. It's kind of been settling in very slowly here this morning, but the visibilities are reduced just a little bit in locations up to the north here. Logansport over towards Kokomo. Anything below 1 mile when you start to have to use extreme caution. So you notice we're getting a little closer to that number. So I'll just point it out. If you're in northern locales, just be a little careful on the roadways. But now that the sun is starting to come over the horizon, it's a very thin layer of fog, so we should be able to burn that off very, very quickly. A cooler morning than we've seen with some 50s out there over near the Crawfordsville area. Low 60s in Bloomington at 63, Tipton 63 as well, and Richmond at 65 degrees. So skies are clear across most of the area. Yesterday we had a few isolated very light rain showers start to develop across the area. We had a few of those cold air funnels that were reported and prompted the sirens to go off in Clinton County. It's not completely out of the question once again today that we could see just a quick passing shower make its way through the area. And don't be shocked maybe if there's a stray cold air funnel, but they do not usually touch the ground. Even if they do, they're very, very weak. So I know when you see one, it's a little alarming to see, but they usually do not cause any damage. And then any shower threat will diminish once the sun starts to set. But again, we're only talking about a 10% chance of a very, very light shower passing through your neighborhood. Most of the day is going to be dry with partly cloudy skies. 76 degrees by the noon hour. 83 degrees will be your high today. Should be great for the fair. Clear skies, pleasant temperatures, low humidity, and we'll be in the 70s. Then overnight tonight, some 50s again in northern locations, about 62 in Indy. Tomorrow's a day very similar to today, partly cloudy. Temperatures will be in the low 80s. The difference is tomorrow right here, more humid. The humidity starts to come up throughout the day tomorrow, and that's going to lead to a hot and humid weekend for Saturday and Sunday with high temperatures right around 90 degrees. And you also notice a daily chance of some isolated thunderstorms starting tomorrow, then going through the weekend and into next week. These would mainly be some pop-up storms here and there across parts of the area. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here's a look from our live drive vehicle heading southbound on I-465, near I-465 here on the south side. Now, on 65 northbound, that's the opposite side of the screen where you're seeing some headlights. That's moving okay right here, but as you're getting closer to the south split, it is a little backed up because our Shea Goodpaster passed a tanker and car crash that happened in that area. It doesn't look too serious, but it is causing delays. Plus, that's part of the detour route for the 465 closure and the eastbound lanes on the southeast side. So again, this morning we do have some delays. You may want to seek an alternate route.
Experts are warning parents about the amount of information they are posting online about their kids. Some of that oversharing on places like Facebook could lead to safety risks. That can include things like real-time location, vacation plans, and full names. Experts say it can happen without the poster even realizing it. Here's one interesting rule of thumb when it comes to posting. Don't post anything you wouldn't be okay with yelling out on a sidewalk. Also, be sure to talk to other family members about posting sensitive information online. 25 years ago this month, the Circle City was divided. Just ahead in Throwback Thursday, the strong reactions to the Hoosier Dome becoming the RCA Dome.
And it is time right now. It's your chance to take home some country music tickets. It's your chance to call in and win 2 tickets to see Luke Bryan in concert here in Indy. The show is set for this Sunday, August 18th at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. All you need to do is be the 6th caller right now. This is the number on your screen, 317-269-1459. Good luck. Time right now is 6:51 on your Thursday. We'll be right back.
Years and counting on RTV6.
Today is the day roller coaster enthusiasts have been waiting for. We are just hours away from learning what the new addition to Kings Island will be. The Cincinnati Area Amusement Park has been teasing the ride codenamed Project X for weeks now. Our sister station in Cincy flew across an area steel fabricator and found massive amounts of roller coaster track ready to be assembled. Theme park insiders say the new ride will likely be a giga coaster. If their predictions are correct, it'll only be the 7th such ride in the world. The big announcement is scheduled for 10 o'clock tonight. once again, where we dive into the RTV6 vaults and take a look into the past.
In this week's Throwback Thursday, we're heading back 25 years to a controversial change that had Hoosiers fired up. It was 25 years ago that in August of 1994, the Hoosier Dome officially became the RCA Dome. The Capital Improvement Board reached a deal with the parent company of RCA, Thompson Consumer Electronics.
They would pay the city $10 million over the next 10 years for the naming rights. The move drew some mixed reaction, with many Hoosiers less than thrilled about the name change.
I think Hoosier Dome is a better name than the RCA Dome. We're all Hoosiers. Not all of us are associated with RCA.
You know, if you got to do it, you got to do it. I wish they'd kept it the Hoosier Dome.
How come?
I don't know. I just like the name. I'm used to it being the Hoosier Dome.
I like Hoosier the best, but I'm just here to watch football, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, the naming rights for the Hoosier Dome helped to fund what is now Victory Field in downtown Indy.
The RCA Dome would stick around for just 14 more years after that, as it gave way to Lucas Oil Stadium. The RCA Dome was imploded on December 20th, 2008.
And you can see more of this story right now at theindychannel.com/history.
That's where you can also find all of our other Throwback Thursday stories.
All right, we do want to talk about the forecast right now and bring in our own Todd Clausen. And Todd, we have a pretty nice day on tap.
Yeah, you know, there's a little bit of patchy fog in northern locations, but that'll burn off really, really quick, and it will be a decent day, Lauren. We'll go from mostly sunny this morning to partly cloudy this afternoon. Can't completely rule out the chance of a stray shower, but it's only been a 10% chance, and it would be very light and be very brief. Enjoy the low humidity today, because as you look at your 7-day planning forecast, you notice the temperatures come up, but with that increase in temperature will come increase in humidity levels as well. Kind of increases throughout the day. Tomorrow, 83 degrees with a spot storm or two, and then it's hot and humid over the weekend.